Hi. Oh, look at you.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. I'm so happy to have you back. Comment so I can get to know a little bit about you. So we are back, week 3. Crazy! Alright guys, who is ready for a story? And it's not your typical happy story, okay? This is about me dropping out of college. I feel like it's pretty obvious that people kind of put pressures on kids around my age, and by that I mean high school up till college. And if you don't go to college, then what are you going to do with your life? You're probably going to be a failure. You're going to be a loser, right? No, you're not going to be a loser. And what you're actually going to do is you're going to drop out because you felt like it was best for you, and you're going to prove every single person wrong. That is what you're going to do. So, that's kind of my life. So, when I was a freshman in high school, well, actually, all of my life, I knew that I wanted to go to college. I had this idea. I was like, you know, after high school, they go to college. And, like, I had everything, like, in order. You had preschool, you had elementary, middle school, high school, then college, and then you get married, and then you get a job and you get married. There's this order, right? If you steer away from that order, it's wrong. They make you feel like you're a loser for not going the same route that everybody else is going, right? You live that life, and I think we have this normalized to where it's like, if you don't do that, if you don't go in that same order that everybody keeps pressuring you to go towards, then something's wrong with you. I'm going to talk about my story with that and how I went about doing things how I did it, and my story with dropping out of college. You know, ever since freshman year of high school, they had me thinking about what college you wanted to go to, where I, viewed myself going, and what I wanted to major in, and what if I wanted to play sports, that kind of thing, okay? I obsessed over leaving. Truly wanted nothing more than to leave. I didn't want to be around this town. I was ready for my life to take place. Going to college and meeting new people, having a fresh start. I was really obsessed with the refresh button. I wanted a restart. For me to do that, my brain was like, okay, I have college to look forward to. I will go to college. I will get an apartment. I will find new friends. I feel like that was ingrained in my head because ever since I was a little girl, I had it in my head that right after high school you go to college. There wasn't any other way. My parents never pressured me to go to college, never once. That was me. Teachers and our administration and schools, they prepare you in high school for college. They're like, if you can't handle this, you're not going to be able to handle this. For all of our lives, they said that stuff. Well, what about the kids that don't go to college? Why weren't they ever talked about? All of high school, like I said, I had it planned. I wanted to be a psychology major. Partially of that reason was I had been through stuff with mental health. I just felt that was the most interesting route for me. But let me tell you, that changed about 300 times. Going through high school and being told, like, you need this for college, you need to know this for college, you have to take 3 of these math classes, you have to take 2 of these Spanish classes or a foreign language class, you have to do 4 science classes. Like, this is what you need to do. This, and this for college. Well, I'm thinking, why is algebra going to be useful for me when I don't go to college, or I'm not in a field that needs that? I don't need that. What about when I decide to drop out? I didn't really pay attention to the fact that, like, I knew obviously, like, a lot of the things that we had to do in high school were really pointless, to be honest. They weren't really directed towards our lives. It was more like, this is for college. I feel like a life skills class would have been nice. Also, to preface, I went to a really small school, so probably some of the options that you guys had, maybe I didn't have. I just feel like it was all college based. This was for college. It wasn't for anybody who wasn't going to college. Which really makes you ask the question, why do we need to know by age 18 whether or not we want to be a doctor? I'm sorry, that's just crazy to me. And if you do know that, kudos to you. That's awesome, and I'm so happy for you. I'm glad that you know. But I know that there's also people out there like me who know absolutely nothing about what they want to do with their lives because they're just realizing who they are as a person. I just feel like the pressures of college, and then you go to college, you spend 2.5 years there, and then drop out, and for what? Because you don't know what you want to do. Basically, I obsessed over going to college all of high school. I went on like 1,000 college visits, I think, just to figure out which college was right for me and where I wanted to live and how far away it was from home and how many kids out of my class were going, like all these stupid things that don't matter anymore. I graduate high school, and not to mention it's March 2020. COVID is also a contributor to all of this. I start partying, I start doing things that I normally wouldn't have been doing, and my life is just a raging mess. I know I'm going to go to college, I'm going to a university, and I'm going to study psychology. I wanted to be able to help people go through things that I went through or things that I didn't go through. I wanted to be there to be helpful for other people who dealt with like mental illness and deal with daily life, which is all of us. I had a plan of being a mental health advocate, a person, professional, somebody that you could go to and get help and seek help. So that was like, yeah, that's what I want to do. When I tell you that I was not prepared for college, I was not prepared for college. I'm not trying to make excuses. However, we went from being kicked out of school on March 13th, 2020, and then having a whole break of not doing anything until we get to college. So not only was I not doing anything, I was transitioning from high school to college, and I had a long break. My brain never transitioned back to the fact that we were actually in school mode again. So schoolwork was a little hard. Not only was it hard, I just did not care. Not in focus mode whatsoever. Not one bit. I would skip classes. I had no motivation. Was not driven. Did not care. I repeat, did not. No. School was not important. I didn't care. So anyways, I failed a bunch of my classes by the end of first semester. I was like, well, maybe this isn't what I want to do. Maybe psychology isn't for me. So I, on a whim, decide that it's not for me. In probably a matter of a day, because I'm impulsive, changed my major to elementary education. Second semester into school, here I am, an LEd major, okay? Make this make sense. I like kids, but not a bunch of little kids at a time, okay? I wouldn't be able to handle that. Like, I'm not dissing little kids, I love little kids. Me personally could not take care of 1 million little children just running around, making noise. That's like my worst nightmare. No. I have mad respect for the teachers out there. I could not. I couldn't. So here I was in that major, and again, did not care. I did not care, so I had no intentions on going to class. I mean, I tried, but I didn't go. I didn't make it, ever. Like, very rarely. But it was time for another change, I suppose, right? I have this dream, and I want to be a part of the fashion industry. That's always been kind of something I've, kind of been intrigued by. I changed my major back to textiles and apparel, which, in other terms, fashion school is what I like to call it. I went back to fashion school. Same college, just another major change. Yep. I'm going through this major, and this is now my 3rd semester in school. My mental health is terrible. This is not going well. I'm failing again. This time, I will say I did try. I literally had high hopes for this one. I genuinely felt like this was the one that I had found the thing that made me happy and that was going to be my life goal. And so I tried. I really did try. And I even asked, I was like, do I need to know anything about sewing to be in this major? Because I knew nothing. Absolutely nothing. Okay? Nothing. Nada. Nope. I didn't need to know anything about sewing. They said they had a basic learning class where you go into there not knowing a thing and they'll teach you. So I was like, okay, I am golden. I will be fine. I'll learn how to sew. Okay, I'm into this. I'm fine. Yeah. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. I'm gonna learn how to sew. I'm gonna be a fashion major. OMG, like my dreams are coming true. Yeah. About that. I got into my basic sewing class, walked in there. Come to find out, every single person in that class knew how to sew, which is not good. So, when you go into sewing and they tell you that it's fine, it's a basic class, you're gonna learn how to sew, but then you go into there and everybody ends up knowing how to sew. Obviously, doing projects for them is gonna be a lot smoother than somebody who knows zero. Absolutely nothing. I tried so hard. I put my heart and soul into that, and my mental health wasn't good. I was going through a lot. School was less and less of a priority for me. This was now my 3rd semester in. I was finally starting to care, and I wasn't doing good. I wasn't doing good, and I was starting to care, and my mental health was bad. And let me tell you, it's a whole nother level of disappointment when you're doing something that you love and you're putting your heart and soul into it and you're failing. You're failing because everybody else in that class knew something that you didn't. It was starting to become hard to deal with, to even go into the class. I felt like a failure. I felt like a fool. I was embarrassed. And, I was proud of the work I did do. I'm not ashamed of that. I was really proud. Every time I did a project on that sewing machine, I was like, I showed everybody. I was like, bro, I know how to freaking sew. Yeah, I knew how to sew. It was pretty surreal. But yet, as much as I loved it and as much as I felt like I was proud of myself for doing what I did, I was still not doing good. Not only that, but I couldn't get myself to get up and go to the class anymore. I felt so happy doing it, but getting there, doing it, seeing everybody else's work plus mine, I felt like a failure, like I was letting everybody around me down. Not because I was doing bad, but because my parents, they had high hopes for me, and I had changed my major 3 times, and I am finally at the 3rd major, and I am failing. Again. I'm failing and I'm unhappy. This whole college experience was an absolute
shit show.
I was so depressed. And one day, I was walking on my way to class, and I take a step into the class. I just couldn't do it anymore. I broke down, and I ran to the bathroom. I got my phone, I called my mom. I was like, Mom, I can't do this anymore. I don't know what to do. I'm failing my classes. I'm trying, and I'm not doing good. Because I don't know what to do. And my mom, I thought she was going to be mad. I thought she was going to be angry. And of course, she probably wasn't happy. She wasn't happy because I was crying on the phone. I was trying to find comfort in calling my mom. And typically, I love her, bless her soul, but that would not be my go-to person to call for comfort. She's more of a tough love type of gal. We worked it in different ways. And that day I called her and I broke down. She witnessed a
whole hot mess express.
It was dramatic. I couldn't do it anymore. Any energy I had left for school was gone. I could not get myself to take another step into that place anymore. I was done. I had the intention to finish out the semester and see how it, finished out. Maybe if I got my grades up, I would keep going. If I didn't, that was my cue and to stop. I kind of talked with my professor a little bit, kind of told her how I was doing. She was kind of more of the tough love type too, apparently. Didn't know how to say anything right. And was like, this is just kind of awkward. Like, maybe you need a therapist. And I was like, I have a therapist. Obviously, like right now, I need comfort in knowing that you're going to help me get through this somehow. And I am lost. And her coming back and saying, this is really uncomfortable for me to talk about with you. I've never really had to deal with depression. Say what? Okay, let me get this straight. You work at a university and you have never dealt with depression? Okay.
There's something.
I feel like this should be kind of a thing. I don't know. But I feel like it would be a good idea for professors, teachers, administrators to know about depression, to have a little bit more of an understanding, to know how to speak to somebody who is dealing with depression or a mental illness or anything for that matter. This woman did not. And bless her soul, again, she was a very kind lady, just didn't have the right words. And me being a depressed person at the point of wanting to give up my whole entire identity that I knew of, I pretty much was like, yeah, I can't do this anymore. Nope, absolutely not. Funny thing, that next weekend actually, we were going to for King of Country concert. Me, my aunts, my mom, and my cousin. Okay. That was kind of irrelevant information, but it was just all of us. I don't even know. I was sitting there listening to the concert, the songs, and if any of you guys don't know, they're Christian based. They play worship songs. Very, very good. I love them. However, so I'm listening to the songs and I'm thinking, what am I doing? My eyes were kind of opened and I knew I was about to make a crazy decision, okay? I knew there was going to be, I was ready for my mom to be ready to beat me at that point. I was ready for her to be mad, livid. So after the concert, I don't even know what got this brought up, but I finally was like, I'm dropping out now. I looked at my mom and I said, I'm sorry. I can't do this anymore. I am done. I'm dropping out tomorrow. I can't do it anymore. And, of course, since my mom was aware that I was going to stick it out the semester and try to get through, she was a little appalled. However, I feel like she took it really well. I really appreciate that. That Monday, I called it quits. School just really put me through a lot mentally. I just don't think it was worth losing myself for. Maybe someday if I decide to go back, I'll go back. But right now, I have zero intention to even think about school. What I want you guys to know is it's Mental Health Awareness Month. And I just felt like that was a good story to kind of share with you guys, just so you know, you're not alone. If you're in that position where you feel like, wow, I don't know what else I'm supposed to do with my life, I have to go to college. No, you do not. If you decide to go for a little bit and you end up not liking it, it's okay. You're not a failure. You're not a loser. You're not what anybody makes it out to be. You're human. It's okay that school isn't for you. It's okay. There's other paths out there, and I'm doing fine, and I'm a walking example. Yeah, I still have hard days, but I have a job I enjoy for the most part. It's kind of boring, but I enjoy it. I get to travel. I get to make more TikToks for you guys. I get to start a YouTube that I just started and love, and there's just so much more that I'm able to do and live more of a stress-free life. If school is for you, that's awesome. I'm so happy for you. It's great that it worked out for you, and it might for some people. There's a lot of people, a lot of my friends are at school right now and they're doing just fine and they enjoy it, but it was not for me, and it's not for everybody, and that's okay. So no matter what you guys are going through, what is happening in your lives, I just want you to know you're not alone. If it's not considered normal or it's not normalized, it's okay to be different. It's okay to pave your own path, because I think that there's a reason for everything, and God's not going to steer you the wrong way. And if you do steer yourself the wrong way, he'll be there right next to you the whole way. And I think that's important, and I think it kind of leads us to him, and you're not alone. So guys, that's it for this video. Thanks for listening and being a part of this family. Thanks for listening. I just want you to know that I love each and every one of you, and I'm so happy that you guys are here, and that way we can get to know each other. So make sure to drop a like and a comment so that way I can get to know all of you better. And yeah, so make sure to subscribe if you're not already so we can meet again and hang out and tell stories and be there for each other. So thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.